Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear partners and dear experts from different countries, mostly for the circular and digital construction in Central Europe. Today we have a final conference under the project ReBuilt, and we were together 3 years. And the co-financer was Interreg Central Europe, and thank you very much for the beginning, because without this support, I can't say that we will manage also the project in that way. We were together 14 different partners from the 9 countries, and of course, on the end, we will present today different results, outputs, and mostly what is important to make the network also when we finish with the project. But for the beginning, I would like to ask first my colleague, manager of the project, Dr. Alenka Malkopranic, for the Slovenian National Building and Civil Engineering Institute, please.
So thank you very much. I hope we can hear each other if I'm a little bit without echo. So I would like to warmly welcome you here in the 5th floor of the Slovenian National Building and Civil Engineering Institute, but also online. We have a live streaming on YouTube and also through the Teams. So I don't know how many of us are now listening, but I hope we can share this our success story of the ReBuilt project, which now is slowly ending. It started in 2023 on the 1st of April, and we will finish it now in the 2nd quarter of 2026. So we are quite a few partners from different institutions across Central Europe region. So first of all, what I forgot to tell, this is the Interreg Central Europe project funded by the Interreg Central Europe program. A little bit maybe about us as a partners. We try to come together different stakeholders across the whole value chain of the construction sector in order to really try to implement the digital and circular construction. Well, the first is circular, and then the digital comes as a support for the better traceability and better transparency of the material flows, which you know is the most important in the circular economy. So besides ZAC, Slovenian National Building and Civil Engineering Institute, we are the coordinator of the project. It's me, Alenka Malkopranic, and I always say my co-pilot, Dr. Dragica Marinic. And then we have also another 2 partners from Slovenia, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Štajerska, Nigrad company, which is the utility company from the municipality of Maribor. From Italy, we have 2 partners, IT partners, experts. This is the company Open Content and Infodata, which are developing different digital tools. You will hear about this a little bit later. From Austria, we have Technical University of Vienna. They are the main partner for developing the training program for building capacity for the circular and digital construction, not only for the academic sector, for the students, but we said that we need to target different groups, like, for example, lifelong training for the public servants, for companies, for investors, for architects who are designing. So it's really not just to focus on students, but also different experts who need to keep on training regarding the circularity in construction. The next one is from Croatia. We have the POR Institute Consulting Company, which are also dealing with a lot of topics. They try to support SMEs and also on the level of the decision making and policy making. We have Burst and Vas County from Hungary. So Burst is a company who is also have a similar role as POR, trying to support in the strategies and also trying to support the SMEs. The Vas County, we are very proud because they are an example of the regional decision maker. So we can directly, what we have developed through the ReBuilt project, we can bring into the regional level of the decision making and government. The next partners, Institute for Construction and Architecture from Slovak Academy of Science. My colleague Martin is here. And also from the Slovakia, we have Industry Innovation Cluster. So again, the combination of the academic and the research sector and SME, which is supporting the industry. From Poland, the Institute of Ecology and Industrial Areas. So from the south of Poland, you used to be very supporting the mining region, but now we are thinking together also how to use these different secondary raw materials for the construction sector. And from the Czech, we have one of the entity which is a partner, let's say, of the global family of the Green Building Council, which you can find in every country. So because we are also developing hubs, a network of hubs, this could be an easy way how to link directly to this already existing international network. And I will just, from the Munich University, last but not the least, my colleagues, I'm looking for them, yes. And again, they are bringing this expertise to the students, but also as a research entity, for example, developing technical solution for more sustainable concrete, which is one of the largest or the largest flow in the construction sector. You can see some of our materials, which we are also supporting here. My colleagues before somebody said that they look like a cookie. Please don't eat them. They are biological materials, so they are based on the biological residue, hemp, with lime, but I don't think they are very tasty, but you can try to feel how does it look, this more sustainable material. You will hear today a lot about the ReBuilt project. Just to sum up, this is, in a nutshell, our project. So we have the education pillar for different target users. We have digital tools which are supporting traceability and transparency of the materials flow. We have different technical solutions. In the bottom, I forgot to mention, before we also wanted to harvest different innovation in our project and also to support them through the innovation cluster of Slovakia to develop more mature business models. So this is our bottom, and what we are bringing also in the future is our Central European Circular Construction Hub network. So follow us, join us, and I hope you will have a pleasant conference and that you will learn more and that we can create more and push forward for the circular and digital construction in Central Europe.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Ms. Victoria Dobravec. She is a project manager for the Joint Secretary Interreg Central Europe. Welcome.
Okay. Good morning also from my side. I hope this echo does not disturb anyone, and also that online, I'll just move this a little bit, that online participants can hear us well. So, okay, perfect, everyone can hear me also well. So welcome also from my side, and thank you very much for this introduction. And thank you, first of all, for inviting me to the final conference of the ReBuilt project. It is my pleasure to be present here with you today physically, but also with those who are joining us online as a representative of the Joint Secretariat of the Interreg Central Europe program. So at the beginning, we have heard already a little bit more in depth about the project, who are the partners cooperating together, and what was the aim and objective of this ReBuilt project. But I would like to give you a broader picture and a broader perspective on the framework under which this project is being implemented. However, before that, I would once again like to use the opportunity to congratulate ReBuilt project team. And also especially the lead partner for all the efforts they have invested throughout the past years in delivering a concrete change, in delivering tangible results in our region. Okay, now the presentation is also here, but you are lucky I'm still at the first slide, so you didn't miss much. Why cooperation is central for taking the circular economy forward, and how this links to the ReBuilt project. On a program level, we strongly support the cooperation for more than 20 years already, and we believe cooperation is essential to move not only the circular economy, but many other topics in Central Europe. In this respect, before I give you further information and highlight three main elements why we consider this cooperation is necessary, I would like to play a short video, briefly also presenting what the program does and what is actually our background. So I hope this will also work now. So with this, if you are not familiar, okay, works better. If you're not familiar with our program and what we do with this short video, I hope you have managed to get a better impression on all the topics we are covering on the program level. So cooperation is central for taking forward Europe's transformation and particularly strengthening its cohesion. I believe you are all aware that Europe is currently undergoing major transition and transformation in many, many different topics, ranging from green transition, but circular economy, digital transition, topics dealing with environment and climate change, to transport, mobility, and governance. And none of these topics can be dealt in isolation, and they cannot be dealt alone. These topics and this transformation, they require cooperation across border. They require cooperation between regions, between cities, between different stakeholders and different institutions. And finally, as we see today, people working together. And this is exactly where our program, where Interreg Central Europe plays its role. So these are the three main elements in which cooperation strongly supports the transition and transformation in Europe. Cooperation builds solidarity by connecting regions and people to address common challenges. Cooperation delivers concrete changes by testing innovative solutions in real-life setting, and you will hear more about testing and concrete solutions from the ReBuilt project later today. And finally, cooperation achieves synergies between regions and cities to pool resources and knowledge for solutions with broader impact that last not only during the project's implementation, but they continue also afterwards. So these three dimensions, solidarity, change, and synergies, are really at the heart of all of our projects. They are heart at all activities the program is delivering. And in this respect, you might ask yourself, how does ReBuilt fit into this bigger picture of what the program is doing and what the program is delivering for our regions? This is actually pretty easy to answer. And how does it fit? Because it addresses a highly relevant topic of advancing a circular economy in the construction and building sector, which is one of the most intensive sector in Europe. By exploring how circular principles and digital solutions can support more sustainable building and construction practices, it directly contributes to Europe's broader transformation. But from a program perspective, this project is not alone in delivering this transformation. This program is one of overall 125 projects that we are currently having funded, and it works together with overall more than 1,100 partners across the entire Central Europe. For all these efforts of these 125 projects, the program has invested almost 200 million euro in supporting the cooperation and supporting the transformation. And ReBuilt is, of course, part of, as you can see, a much wider movement of cooperation. It's not alone, it is working together with many, many other projects and partners in shaping our region and future in Europe. But as you all know, and also as I have already mentioned, the end of the project does not mean and should not mean end of the cooperation. In fact, end of the project is an opportunity for continuation, for a new start, a new phase to begin. In this respect, sustainability is crucial and plays a very important role, and transnational cooperation creates added value when results continue to live, when results continue to evolve and continue inspire further initiatives long after the funding period ends. Therefore, I also hope for a ReBuilt project and for your results and for your achievements and fundamentally for your cooperation that it will continue also after the end of the project. In this respect, very briefly to inform you that when talking about circular economy, ReBuilt is not alone here. We address many topics, but we also address circular economy. And when speaking about this specific topic, there are 15 projects working on many various aspects of circular economy, which of course creates opportunity for exchange among these projects during implementation, but also after. It creates opportunity to capitalize on the results and also opportunity to learn from each other. And maybe when talking about the future and going back to the program perspective, I would like to briefly introduce how the future looks like from the program perspective and what we are expecting in the future. The program is fully committed to continue supporting the cooperation in Central Europe also in future. And in this respect, 2026 is very important year for us. Why this is so? Because since January 2026, we have started 25 projects we support with implementation of their activities. These projects have even more specific focus because they address peripheral and lagging areas that are very often a bit left behind because they don't have sufficient capacities or they are not heard enough. And therefore, these 25 projects are specifically tackling such areas to even further strengthen cohesion in Central Europe. Then in February, so this happened actually rather recently, end of February, we have started preparation and planning for the new programming period that will last from 2028 to 2034 with first meeting of our member states. In terms of additional projects, and some of you might know, we have closed our last call, so new projects, new applications are being assessed, and projects will start in May 2026, when the decision will be made by our member states. Last but not least, and of course there are many activities that we are doing on a program level, but these are somehow the highlights for your information. In summer 2026, linked to programming of a new period, we will start partner involvement to address and to search and look for territorial challenges and needs that are important for Central Europe, so that we can shape our new program to tackle and address challenges and needs. In this respect, I would like to invite all of you, not only the ReBuilt partners, but all of you working with and living in Central Europe regions to provide us your feedback so that we can better shape our measures for future. In this respect, I encourage you and invite you to follow our program activities and to continue the cooperation with us through the projects, to the project results, and making results sustainable. In this regard, once again, on behalf of the Joint Secretariat, I would like to congratulate project partners for commitment in implementing the cooperation and for all these joint efforts. With this, I wish you a nice and productive conference and good discussion, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much to Ms. Victoria Dobravec. Of course, that is very important issue that we have now the last information about the container of the program Interreg Central Europe. But now I would like to ask Ms. Daniela Kos, a national contact point, Ministry of Cohesion and Regional Development of Slovenia. She will be online. Do we have the connection, please? My name is Ralica Murinic, and I will coordinate today the conference, some technical issue. We have streaming online on YouTube. You see the contact we sent to you, to all of you. And at the same time, we have also online on the MM Teams. So welcome also to our colleagues online. But now we will start with the presentation of the project, and first I would like to ask, under the topic Capacity Building and Training for the Digital and Circular Construction, the first one will be Lukas Hausner from the Vienna University of Technology of Austria. And we have here the presentation too. And first, I would like to ask Katerina Valakova from the Czech Green Building Council. Welcome.
Thank you. I will just need my presentation.
So you erase this one, right? Yes?
Yes.
And then they will change.
Okay, hello, welcome, good morning. I'm happy to see you, all of you. I'm gonna start with our e-learning. In a couple of weeks, we have been developing this structure for e-learning. Is it platform which offers courses in the topic of circular and digital construction. These courses are free of charge, are self-paced, and maybe there are few of you which already enrolled our courses. If not, I hope after this presentation we have as many new faces as I can see today in this room. So let's start. What actually is MOOC? First, we need to go back to our project history because what was important was identify the needs of our audience. Why to develop MOOC actually? for the MOOC, we identified that there are unique topics all together in one course, which connect illegal waste management, digital tools, geopolymers, or legal policy awareness. These courses were developed for target groups, for which I will be talking in the next slide, but it's tailored for this audience. And MOOCs also offers multi-language and regionally customized courses. So we started with English, which is basic for the whole courses, and then we developed in all 8 languages translations for the courses. All together, this brings a unique platform. And as I was talking, we have identified 4 target groups. The first, government and public servants. Then the courses are offered for university and students. The third category is industry or actually it's small and medium enterprises connecting all architects, investors, and stakeholders. And there are also need to learn to educate wide public, so we decided also for this category. For this category, we decided also to bring more structured levels, so you can start as beginner in going through the courses to the advanced level. So these are just a few words or topics we cover in the courses. It's really huge, and it's built for this audience, as we were talking about. And how is actually MOOC structured? This platform is hosted on Moodle, and it brings video lectures from professionals all across the consortium, all across Europe. And the structure is having these videos and getting to quizzes to test yourself. And also in the English version, we are trying to connect as many additional sources as possible to this topic. Who actually developed these courses? These are all 14 consortium partners. It's important to mention because all of the partners were really huge intents on this creating. As we mentioned, the course is built in 9 languages, which at least need to be translated, and all of these partners came across the topics we are covering, and they are bringing their knowledge across the whole Europe to the videos. Now the MOOCs are in our pilot version, which means they are already it's just a month. They are going live, and we have now another month to test, and we will speak later how it will be, how we will continue with these courses. But in this pilot version, we identified first results, and that means during this month, we have 72 participants, And these participants enrolled more than 134 courses, which is a really great number. It also shows that some of participants could have been engaged in more courses, or could have learned courses in more languages. This first statistic came from it's just a few days we came to these numbers, so it's quite new, and we'll be developing more feedbacks. So let's see what we have till now. This all bubbles shows our audience. It means government, universities, SMEs, and public. These numbers also shows enrollment in these courses. So as we can see, the strongest enrollment was in SME courses. What we want to share more is courses for public, because there are only 26 participants at the moment. And the conclusion for now is that all these topics need to be covered, because, yeah, let's see. So SMEs, as we can see, from the statistic we have at the moment, they have the biggest enrollment. But what we are facing is that this audience is not very much completing the courses. Maybe because they don't have time, because maybe we will identify later. Well, universities, opposite to SMEs, if somebody of somebody will decide to attend university course, we have most completed course in this section. So this seems to be useful for students. And let's focus then on other results to see what we can strong in public sector, or what could be more useful for government. First results also bring us to strengths and areas for improvement. Strengths of this course seems to be that all courses have clear structure. It's bringing practical relevance, and we in these courses we're bringing a lot of case studies integrated in the videos. For improvement, we identified that there need to be additional content per module. There should be further clarification, and there's a need for clear video description. In ReBuilt project, we build also these courses. So I am happy to invite you all for this pilot version. Here is QR code also, so we will be happy if you register. And for first challenges we are facing, this pilot our project just began with this. So we want to continue with these courses, and what needs to be done will be said more by Lucas, our colleague. So just to continue with this, we need to, in this phase, improve feedback, so we have more results and better results to improve these courses. What needs to be done is also we have built strong platform, but we need to still promote it and have some static website to as a to show what we have done. And there is also need for certification for the students which enroll the courses. And now, again, I will invite you to study with us, and I will give my floor to Lucas.
Lucas, are you with us? Hello.
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me good?
Please, your turn.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me good?
We do.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. Then thank you very much, Ms. Katarina Balova. As you could see, the MOOC was a lot of work and a lot of interaction, and we had a strong communication. So thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Lukas Hausner. I'm in the team of Professor Ildiko Merter. And yeah, I have the pleasure today from also the heart of Europe, from Vienna, to talk about the capacity building and training for digital and circular construction today. And also what I want to bring you today is a view from the past and also to the future. Just as a personal note from the beginning, I joined the team at the end of period 4 as a PhD student in material science. I had a lot of experience before in 3D printing, startup, R&D, material testing facilities, and also in recycling scientific projects actually for industry application. So what I can bring you today is so-called T-shaped internal and external view on the past and the future of the project, especially because I'm also was quite in the middle of the project. I could really see, okay, what was the beginning and how will it go? So we will start with a short recap on our Bible on capacity building that was in 2024. We will go in this progress history of the feedback from the MOOC, what we already discussed with Katarina today. We go on the improved questions, how we really want to change the method on the feedback to get the best out of it. So this is also from the testing perspective. I also want to show you we are from the university, so we always strive for a few that is maybe also a little bit out of the box. So we want to talk about why should this platform be used in the future. I think this is very important, especially on the final conference, and the future improvements. And at the end, we will compare what was the plan and where are we right now. So just for the timetable here, 2026, we are in the MOOC, and in 2024, we have the capacity building Bible. So this serves as a knowledge creation guideline for all the future trainings to come. Just as a recap, that we have it also in the presentation, we identified major skill gaps in digitalization. We identified there will be a lot of construction positions. It is very important to have the so-called T-shaped professional view, so broad knowledge, but also deep expertise in one specialized area. That's also why universities, industries, architecture, everybody together can contribute very nicely. We also had the policy market drivers. This was all identified. And we had the 5 target groups that is now also manifested in the MOOC very nicely, as we saw. And we have different modules for different target groups. And also for the role of the trainer, we have internal and future lecturers maybe on the MOOC. This will be a little bit a point for later. The core message was that education is a strategic lever to decarbonize and digitalize. And the digitalization is needed. So from the structure methodology, we just have it now. I don't want to overburden you now with all lines, but that you just see what was the focus on this delivery, and also that we have the different modules from the target groups inside the MOOC, and the key strength was the theory, regulation, practical application. Everything together is necessary for the future. And it also aligns very nicely in the lecture series at Hochschule München, where we had a lot of lecturers. There was also in the feedback that the practical approach is needed and works the best. So we got also a kind of approval from all what we did back in 2024 into 2025. And we have the tools as products for systematic change. We have the training. We have also the material passport, which is a tool, and transitional knowledge transfer. This is all necessary for the training program and also for all this capacity building. We started from here. We developed the lectures. We developed a lecture series for the target groups. We went into the tools for the passport, for the MOOC, and now we can also think about what is the future, how can it grow, and how can this live on as well. For this, it is necessary to know very good feedback. We want to develop the skills, the knowledge. We want to know if it's actually effective. And first, we started with a Moodle in situ feedback. This was a feedback inside all the questionnaires. So once you were finished in the Moodle, you had this feedback button and you give it. It was a very good tool because we had in the background your user information, nationality, languages, etc. We had the contrary was the feedback in theory is not anonymous. That could maybe lead to less interaction and maybe not putting your feedback in. We had additionally, and this was the second one, a monkey survey. This was anonymous link. This was on the beginning of your course. You could see this announcement. You could click on it. And then in my case, I already did it. So I see this. But this is the survey monkey. That's why we call it the monkey survey. And this was an external anonymous. The problem was the participants did not engage very strongly. And we were only mostly university employees because I did a lot of actually promotion for the anonymous feedback. But we came to the decision that we will continue with an in situ feedback inside the Moodle. One platform decreases amount of questions. The user histories we know the progress nationalities. The monkey service anonymous needs strong promotion because we needed really to make promotion ourselves from university level that we could get people to it. So this is not so good. And also Katharina analyzed that from the Mailchimp analysis, the people started it, but did not finish it, contrary to the feedback inside the Moodle. So now we come to the improved questions. We have a quantitative system, 1 to 10. First, we made a personal question. This is still in progress. We can also have it on the round table adapted, but this was what we came up together. How useful was the platform for you? So a nice personal question at the beginning. How easy was it to navigate to really get an idea if the platform works good for the user? How likely do you use it in future? Very important for us. How did your knowledge improved? So we did not ask before and afterwards, how is your knowledge after you completed? Just how did it improved? One question less. Was the level of expertise appropriate for you? Was the length appropriate? And we have a qualitative, very important, did you complete the course? And if not, why? What was the reason? In today of AI, qualitative questions are also good to analyze, and it's much easier. So we thought also a second one, which strengths or improvement can you recommend? We are still also in the beginning of this platform. It's very useful. Less questions, more clarity, everything is in one platform. Now, this is food for thoughts. We also have a round table at the end of the session. So why should people use the platform? Is there a way to find how to engage? We have on the week 11, we have awareness event where we will ask it with a Mentimeter, our target audience from university, if they will use it and why. Arguments right now, intrinsic motivation, and share content in your area, local of influence. Certificates was mentioned yesterday also. Is there a possibility people can get certificates? And a suggestion from our side, from university, is can we actually have audience-driven content? Can this be improved? So can people maybe in the future upload content? In the future, it would be very attractive for universities. I think for SMEs as well. It was ease internal teaching infrastructure if they have a tool like MOOC, and we can enable also certificates. These are just foods for thoughts, how this project can really impact the future from our side. Future improvements, future training structure will be defined. We have deliverables that define a certain training infrastructure. We are with Hochschule Munich in contact about the final training structure. It's still under construction. Typical things, which model, which target audience, So I will not continue with that in detail. We have now the time of the ReBuilt project, final structure, criteria catalog. We have the MOOC. So an idea for the future could be a technical implication to get external lecturers to fulfill requirements, use the hubs, trainer role essential, approve it via the hubs, and have a new content on the MOOC. So at the end, when we look at 2024 and 2026, we had expected outcomes in 2024 that the participants use digital modeling, apply circular design strategies. We had a long-term vision that we go from linear to circular and analog to digital. We have a hub for train-the-trainer events as well. And a core message was a scalable, adaptable, long-term transformation instrument. Networking, hub meetings, more content in the future with the tool of the Material Passport and the MOOC. And now we have the information also from Hochschule Munich. They did a lot of lectures on this side, so they will continue to do university lecture series under the team of Andrea Kustermann. She did a lot in this project for the lecture series, and this could be a possibility to be a Kickstarter, also for future projects. On this note, I want to thank you. And yeah, thank you also for Ms. Daniela Mechani. She was in period 1 to 4. And I think it was noteworthy to mention her because she did a lot in this project. And since this presentation was also about the past and the future, I thought it was very fitting. So yeah, this is from my part. Any questions are very welcome.
Thank you very much, Lucas, and also to your colleague, Daniela, and at the same time also to your boss, to Yves Comerta, and also colleague from Hochschule Munich, Andrea. But first, please start, wait a few minutes more. I would like to ask now Ms. Daniela Kos from our national contact point on the Ministry of Cohesion. Welcome to our conference.
Good morning to everybody. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Yes. Okay. Hello?
Yes,
we can
you hear me?
Very nicely, yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Online it's working perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So it is a great pleasure to join you today at the final conference of your project. Allow me to extend a warm greeting on behalf of the Ministry of Cohesion and Regional Development, acting as a national contact point for the Interreg Central Europe. Our ministry is strongly committed to European territorial cooperation and actively participates in several Interreg programs. We are involved in 5 transnational programs: Interreg Central Europe, Alpine Space, Danube Region, Euromed, and IPA Adrian, as well, of course, in our 4 cross-border cooperation programs with our neighboring countries. Through these programs, we jointly address shared transnational and cross-border regional challenges that go beyond our national borders, and we will continue this cooperation with the same commitment also in the next programming period. The ReBuilt project, led by Slovenian National Building and Civil Engineering Institute, brings together 14 partners from 9 countries and stands as a strong example of successful transnational cooperation. With a total budget of 2.4 million, co-financed at 80% by ERDF funds under the Interreg Central Europe program, it clearly demonstrates how can joint efforts at Central European level deliver concrete and forward-looking results. as we heard already today. Beyond developing and testing innovative technical and digital solutions, the ReBuilt project has truly embodied the spirit of cooperation. By connecting partners from Slovenia, Austria, Italy, Croatia, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Germany, you have jointly created new knowledge and practical solutions for a more sustainable and circular construction sector in Central Europe. Today's successful conclusion is the result of your shared commitment and dedicated work, from the lead partner to all of you, all project partners and experts, researchers, and stakeholders who contributed their expertise and experience. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Projects like yours clearly demonstrate the tangible impact that can be achieved when knowledge and innovation come together across borders. I am confident that this is not the end, as we already heard, of cooperation, but rather the beginning of a new chapter, one that will build on the result already achieved. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. I wish you every success also in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Daniela Kos, and have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
I would like to ask Dr. Andrea Kusterman from the Hochschule Munich. Please welcome. And she is under the topic Proofing Circular Materials and Solutions.
Have I got to share anything? No, okay, it works. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrea Kusterman. I'm from Hochschule Munich. It's a University of Applied Science. And we are specialists for concrete, and I brought a few specimens for you. And every project partner got one to take it home for the mobile exhibition. And I want to tell you, this is the introduction. Implemented it in our projects. We had in our homework to do some testing with different concretes. We have a recycling concrete with 100% recycled aggregate. And we also did tests with a recycling concrete with 100% recycled aggregate. And we added hemp fibers. These are the two concrete specimens we brought. Johanna, my colleague, produced that for you. And you can't see really a good difference because the hemp fibers are very small. But I show you the differences in the next minutes here. And then we had also the idea to implement the new materials in building sites. And we installed one of the inventions or the new solutions, the acoustic panels at Nigrad in Maribor, and Sergei will present that afterwards. And my job was to implement the 100% recycled aggregate concrete in a building site, and I will show you a few details about our pilot project. Okay, everything begins with the recycled aggregate, and we also brought you, two hemp fibers. It's a recycled aggregate. Recycled aggregate made from demolished construction or demolished concrete. Most parts are concrete, but it's not only concrete, you also see bricks in it. And so we always have a mixture of different materials. Here you can see a detail. And in concrete, I take you with us in a small journey to the lab and then to the building site. You can see a test of the concrete in the fresh concrete property about the consistency. And here you can see a test of the flexural bending strength. And also we did some tests about the pull out of reinforcement in our concrete. To bring it in the building site, we have to do these tests also. The second part was to do something more and add some hemp fibers, natural fibers, and here you can see 3 different fibers we tested, and we brought you one of the fibers here for you as a possibility. Oh, I should, where have I got? Okay, you have it here. It looks like hemp fiber. I think it's not too strange, you can imagine online. And here's a photograph from the microscopy. And we did a lot of tests with the recycled aggregate and also with the hemp fibers, because it's a really challenge to get familiar with the water absorption of these fibers and also the aggregate. And here you see a few of the special tests. I do not go too deep into the details. Now we go to the building site. We have a pilot in Munich. The city of Munich decided to support us, and they decided to build a school and to try using new materials. And one of the new materials were the use of our 100% recycled aggregate. And you can see here concrete properties we have to fulfill. We have a compressive strength about 30 to 37 megapascal. We have here the exposition classes about carbonation and frost resistant. And we did bore piles, walls, and also structural slabs. Here you can see all the foundations. All the green parts were done by the 100% recycled aggregate. And it's beyond the standards. It's not allowed in Germany to build with 100% recycled aggregate. So we needed in advance special permission by the ministry. We can apply for that. That's a normal process, and it's not a German process, it's a Bavarian process. It's in every country in Germany a little bit different, but similar. And we have the possibility to show the special, to show that the properties of the material is similar to the properties which are named in the standards, and you can give a declaration that it is the same and it is no danger for any person, and it's also no durability problems. We did that in advance. It takes a few months, maybe half a year, if you have to do a lot of tests. And we started with bore piles and then with the foundation. And we will see a few things more. This is of rendering from the planning before, and now we are further. This is the preparation of the bore piles. Here you can see the machine for the bore piles, and then you can see the first concrete is coming, and everybody's excited. We are doing concrete, we know that. It had 35 degrees. It was the worst case you can have for a first test of a concrete on a building site. But in the end, it worked, and you can't see anything if you look at the fresh concrete because it's gray. A few small brick parts, but normally everything is gray because of the cement paste surrounding the aggregate. And here you can see the hardened bore pile, and it worked very well, and I think that has a lot of good experience we can use in a few times more in the nearer future. For the other structure elements we wanted to do, we needed a pumping test, and here you can see the pump test before. We have to show that it works with the pump, and we had a 40-meter pump. And then we could do that because in Munich we often have no place in the building sites, and we have to pump a long distance. And these are the single foundation we built. And these were the first walls in the basement we did. And Here you can remember, it's Alenka on the photo, when she visited us in Munich. And we did some discussion, and we saw the walls in the basement and our first ceiling. It was the first plate we did with this concrete. And here it's a detailed photo, and we do some monitoring on this plate to be sure that we do not have deformation. These are the properties. That's a little bit technical, but I think a few of you will be interested in. We have a very high compressive strength. That's why everybody was frightened. And so the idea of the ministry was to go in a very high class of strength. We took through 2 classes of frightening compressive strength. That's not necessary, but it was one of the first things. And so we were very, very high in our compressive strength. We have a flexural strength. It's not too different from normal concrete. Young's modulus always is a little bit lower. That's interesting for the construction, and you have to keep it in mind. Freeze-thaw resistant was fulfilled here. The carbonation resistant was fulfilled. We had a water permeability that was okay for that project. And what we have a higher shrinkage and a higher creep values because of the softer aggregates, because recycled aggregates are a little bit softer than normal aggregates or natural aggregates, and though we have higher deformations in these properties. Okay, what were the main characteristics and challenges? The recycled aggregates have to be you always have to be sure that you have the right bulk density, and you always have to measure the water absorption. So you have to keep that in mind for a good, fresh concrete property. We have sometimes a higher water requirement, and the water cement ratio have to be thought about, because it's like other concrete, like lightweight aggregates, they also suck a lot of water. So you always have to keep in mind that you need additional water for the absorption water. And the water cement ratio sometimes have to be divided in the equivalent, I can't say that word, sorry, for the real water cement ratio. And you have to divide the absorption water from the water for the water cement ratio. In the hardened concrete, we have deformations with a little bit higher values in creeping and shrinkage, and the modulus of elasticity, the Young's modulus, often is about 10 to 20% lower. If we compare it with our green concrete, as it's called in our project, the concrete with the hemp fibers, we decreased the cement content, and we got a good compressive strength. You can see it. We also have a very good compressive strength, but we had really a significantly less cement content in this mixture. We have an increased flexural strength. That's clear because we added fiber. Fibers are like a reinforcement, and if you have in the flexural strength, you always have it a reinforcement between the cracks, so you improve your flexural strength. The Young's modulus is also lower than with natural aggregate. The carbonation depth is here higher. It is because of the significantly less cement content we used, and the shrinkage is here also improved, maybe by the hemp fibers. It seems to be, and it's really similar to normal concrete with natural aggregates. Though, in the end, the question is, do we do only one pilot, or can we do it further and further? And in the Campus Ost, that's the name of the school, we have the pilot project. And now we have about 10 special permissions with a similar concrete. We always have to do this permission once more, but the Bavarian ministry is now used to our concrete. We did a little bit education there, and they are interested in, and they are really in a good idea to improve that innovation. And what we always do if we do something new, but we never did before, we try to monitor the things. We try to monitor the deformation, the deflection monitoring of plates, and also to detect possible corrosion at the early stage corrosion measurement. And the green concrete with the hemp fibers, we didn't do any pilot. It was a laboratory test. But we present the results at the VIP conference in Lisbon in June, and it's done by Johanna. She will present that there. Thank you for your attention. That was it. The second thing, the hempcrete, will be presented by Sergei. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Andrea Kusterman. And the second pilot was in Slovenia. And now I would like to ask Sergei Gutzmantel. Are you with us? Sergei?
To nie prawo.
Prezentacja czekam. Jeszcze screenshot.
Yeah. Sergei? Are you online? He's present. Yeah. Just a moment, please. Sergei? Sergei? Can you hear me?
We cannot hear him.
What he said? He is already online now. Sergei, can you hear me? Sergei, please give your PPT presentation in the full screen. Sorry, you have to wait, but now we will ask Alazan Abdelhamid from the Info.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Now we have
So I will share my presentation.
Yeah, just a moment, please. You see digitalization is on one side, on another side, makes it difficult.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Now, Sergey, please wait.
Yeah.
Because now we will give the floor to Alazem, to Infodata. Please wait, and then it's your turn.
Okay. Just a heads up. I only have about 25 minutes left. I already wrote to Dragica about half an hour ago because I thought we would be
No problem.
finished by 11.
I can give you the floor if you want.
If possible, please.
Yes, of course, no problem. Go on, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes, just a moment to make the presentation.
Just put it in full screen.
In my computer, it is in full screen, so hopefully you can also see it in full screen.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Just a second.
We see it, but can you put it in presentation mode?
I did. And on my screen, it is in presentation mode, but I guess...
I see it's the problem on the computer. Can you use it like that? We will crop it out, okay?
You can go on.
Okay, just a second. Maybe I'll try it like this. Can you see it now?
Now it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So can I start?
Yes, go on.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. My name is Sergey Gutsmandl, and I think you've already heard a little bit about the project. So I won't go too in depth about the project itself. As Andrea also mentioned in her previous presentation, these were the two demos that were carried out within the project. Our demo was the hempcrete panels. So this is some of the key information, basically of what we did, where the demonstration took place. So the demonstration took place in Dolgoša, Maribor. This was we used the hempcrete panels that we got from a company in Austria, which we'll see a little bit later. So these are a few key. This is some of the key information about the project itself. As already mentioned, our demo was bioconcrete products, so hempcrete panels for sound and heat insulation, which were delivered from the company named Hempstatic. Okay. As you can see, this is some of the key information also about our company. We have a 160-year-old tradition. We create about 15 to 25 million of revenue yearly. We also have around 240 to 250 employees. We are a public utility and infrastructure company that mostly works with the municipality of Maribor. So, okay, this is some of the key information about the site where the demonstration was carried out. The demonstration itself was created within the Cinderella project. I don't know if you heard about this project a little bit today or maybe also in the past, but this is a site where quite a few of other projects were carried out. And basically the ReBuilt project and all of its activities were meant to also upgrade the site and to bring in some new some new data, some new info, new demo that I will tell you a little bit more about. So okay, this is our demo. So we basically use the hempcrete panels, and this is a short slide explaining what these hempcrete panels are all about. So as you can see, these hempcrete panels provide better indoor acoustics, meaning less reverberation and clearer speech. They're also used for healthier indoor air with very low VOC emissions. They are also fire safety suitable for public spaces, and they also have low carbon and there's a circular design. So reuse, disassembly, and bio-based content. As you can see, the hemp static panels combine hemp shives with mineral binder, lemon mineral binder, as you can see also on the photo on the right of the screen. And they are modular interior panels that can be reused, repaired, and at the end of the life cycle, they can also be responsibly processed. As you can see, this is the demo site itself. These hempcrete panels were used on recycled concrete blocks. And these panels are 500 times 500 millimeters, so 50 times 50 centimeters. They are 40 millimeters thick. And as I already mentioned previously, the material concept is basically hem sheaves, mineral binder, and water process forming / curing the design. We also carried out a bunch of different measurements for the panels themselves. As you can also see, these are some of the measurements or some of the statistics for the panels themselves. This is the indoor air quality of the panels and all of the statistical numbers. There were also fire safety tests carried out. As you can see, there were very low smoke, no flaming droplets at the fire safety tests. You can also see the aesthetics / durability and the hygrothermal properties of the panels themselves. And you can also see that the life cycle assessment was carried out within these panels compared to the more regular materials that are used in buildings today. As you can see, greenhouse emissions are reported at 94% lower than the standard material like flexible pour foam. Okay, so go to the next slide. Okay, this is some of the test configurations / summary. We used the panels basically on 2 different floors with different materials. As you can see on the ground floor, it was used on the concrete blocks, and on the first floor, it was used on a wooden surface. And you can see the difference basically that the materials on which the hemcrete panels were laid on made. So as you can see, here are some of the statistics about the rooms themselves, about the ground the hemcrete panels covered, the dimensions that you already previously mentioned, and how much of the area was actually covered with the hemcrete panels themselves. And we also carried out 2 acoustic measurements on these panels. One was carried out before the panels were installed, and one was carried out after the panels were installed. So these are also the certified methods that were basically used while measuring the acoustics, as you can see here. And here is a graph that is basically a comparison of the reverberation time. And as you can see with the empty room and with the panels, this is the first floor where the panels were used on concrete blocks. And on the first floor, it was wood. On the ground floor, it was the concrete blocks. And you can see the difference in the reverberation with the usage of the hemcrete panels. So because it was impossible basically to cover both of the floors completely in the hemcrete panels, you can actually see what kind of a difference even a small coverage with the panels can make in the reverberation. Especially the bigger difference I think came on the ground floor where the panels were put on concrete. So yeah, I think this is where most of the difference was made. This is also the sound absorption, where you can see the difference in sound absorption with and without the panels. The sound absorption is also very reliant on the fact of the space distribution of the space itself and the distribution of the hemcrete panels along the space. So, but you can also see that there were some very good results from before and after the installation of the panels. So the sound absorption increased quite a lot, which all of these combined mean better speech, better recognition, lower outside voice penetration into the building itself. So these were some good results with basically just a small amount of hemcrete panels that were put up on the walls. As I already previously mentioned, this project, the ReBuilt project, and our activities within the project, I think Andrea also already mentioned previously, and all of the other partners, this was within the activity 2.5, this deliverable that we need to carry out our deliverable on the project. And they were basically all carried out on the Dogoše demo site in Maribor. And these are some of the previous projects that you can see on screen now that were actually carried out or are still ongoing at the site itself. And as I already said, this is basically just further development of the site, testing of circular materials, and trying to use new different materials on the site that were not used before, and to hopefully progress the circular construction and use of sustainable circular materials instead of the classic materials that are used in current construction. Yep. So, yeah, as you can see here, the NIGRA usually within the project serves as a demo site, and we usually help bridge the gap between lab and real world. So what is tested in the lab and evolves in the lab is then necessarily needs to be tested in the real environment. So this is mostly our expertise, and this is also what we did in the project with the hemcrete panels. So I would also like to thank Hemstatic and all of the other partners involved in the project for helping us with the hemcrete panels and with all of the other activities that were carried out basically within the demo site. So yeah, that would be it from my side. So thank you, and if there are any other questions.
Thank you very much, Sergey. Now I would like to show you also these hemcrete materials. You can see them on the desk. And make a careful touch. Yes, so the results were very good, and we hope that we can make next step also with these materials in the circular constructions in the future. We hope so. Thank you very much again. And now, Elazem, I will call you again on the floor. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Because
can you hear me?
We will present the enhancing transparency and traceability with digital tools and circular construction.
Can you hear me? Can you see my presentation?
Infotaka from Italy partner and also Open Content. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
It's okay. Well, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I start. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you all, our ReBuilt partners. A special thanks to Zag for the excellent organization and to everyone who joined us in the room and online. My name is Elazem Abdelhamid from Infordata Sistemi, and I will walk you through the digital toolkit we built to make circular construction practical, traceable, and scalable. Before showing our solution, let's talk about the main problem. Today, the construction sector generates enormous volume of waste, and yet the vast majority of that material either ends up in landfill or is downcycled into low-value applications. Not because the material isn't valuable, but because no one can see it, no one can verify it, and no one can easily buy and sell it. The problem is a data problem. Waste is recorded inconstantly or not at all. Transformation from waste to secondary raw material is undocumented. There is no trusted identity attached to recovered products, and the market has no place to find them. So the central challenge we set out to solve: how do we make construction and demolition waste visible, trusted, and reusable? The answer, we believe, lies in transparency and traceability, powered by the right digital tools, and that is exactly what the ReBuilt project set out to create. To close the gap, we developed 5 integrated tools over 3 years. Together, they cover the full circular construction workflow, from waste generation on site to certified materials re-entering the market. These are standalone experiments. They are not standalone. In fact, experiments, they form a coherent end-to-end digital ecosystem. And now let me briefly introduce each one before we dive deeper. The first is the ReBuilt portal, our web-based platform for waste tracking and reporting. The second is our operator app, which brings data capture directly to the field. Third is the digital product passport, giving every recovered material a verified digital identity. Fourth, we integrate with Gaia-X, a European initiative that provides trusted federated data infrastructure. And fifth, materials flow into CenderOS, an open marketplace for secondary materials developed by open content. Together, they take materials from waste to market. Now let's look at each one. The first tool is the foundation of the entire system. Our web-based tracking platform. At the project level, this platform allows construction companies and waste operators to digitally report what materials are being generated, how they are classified, and what happens to them next. This replaces fragmented paper-based processes with structured, consistent digital data. The workflow moves through three key stages. First, data capture and reporting. Then, material processing and validation. Once waste is processed into secondary raw materials, that transformation is validated within the system. Third, certification and market integration. The system then issues a certified digital product passport and publishes the material to the CenderOS marketplace. Then the data quality starts on site. That's the principle behind our mobile app for operators. So construction workers and site managers can now record waste data directly at the point of generation in real time. On their mobile devices, no manual logs, no transfer delays, and no data loss. The app guides operators through three main actions. First, waste production entry. Materials are digitally recorded the moment they appear. Second, structured material classification, where the operators can classify materials by type, quantity, unit, using a standardized schema. Third, life cycle event tracking, where we track the transport, processing, storage events, and so on. What makes this powerful is the connection between the field and the platform. So every time we enter a new data, it feeds automatically the ReBuilt portal, ensuring traceability from the very first moment a material exists. We move to the third tool, digital product passport. So at the heart of circular construction is a fundamental question: can I trust this material? The digital product passport is our answer. So every material that passes through our system receives a unique digital identity, which is a passport that travels with it through its entire life cycle. The passport is accessible via a scannable QR code and contains structured machine-readable data. So the product identification, declaration of performance, environmental data, compliance documents, and unique identifiers. By scanning a QR code, we see immediately a material's full history, where it came from, how it was processed, what certifications it holds, making it trusted and traceable. We move to the next tool. A digital passport is only trustworthy as the infrastructure behind it. That's why we have integrated our system with Gaia-X. And it's important to be clear, Gaia-X is not a tool we developed. It's a European initiative established to provide a secure, federated digital infrastructure for Europe, allowing businesses and organizations to share data securely while retaining full control over it. So by aligning our platform and other services with Gaia-X, we ensure that every passport issued through our system benefits from cryptographic digital signature, guaranteeing data authenticity and tamper-proofing. If someone alters the data, it will be detected. Equally, Gaia-X enables secure data exchange across different stakeholders and different services, a critical requirement for scaling circular construction across Central Europe and beyond. All certified data has one destination, the marketplace. SenderOS is an open marketplace for secondary construction materials developed by our partners at Open Content. Our work at Infodata was to build a secure integration that automatically publishes certified products into it. Once a material has its digital product passport, our system publishes directly to SenderOS, making it searchable and findable by buyers. It acts as both a marketplace and a knowledge hub where materials are easily discoverable. In the next session, Ronald from Open Content will dive deeper into the enhancements they have made and the improvements currently in progress to make this integration ever more robust and reliable. Now, this slide brings it all together. What you see here is the complete ReBuilt digital ecosystem. These tools and platforms working not in isolation, but integrated as a unified system. Each step feeds the next. For example, the mobile app feeds the portal. The portal generates the passport. The passport is then secured by the Gaia-X trust layer, and that trust layer enables our automated integration with the SenderOS marketplace. So circular construction fails when data is fragmented, when trust is missing, or when materials are invisible to the market. And our ecosystem addresses each of these failures systematically. What we have built over 3 years with our ReBuilt partners is a replicable model for how the construction industry can transition toward material circularity. Thank you. I hope this has given you a clear picture of the true potential of digital integration to accelerate the circular economy in construction.
Thank you very much, Alasan. Because we delayed this, we suggest that we will continue with the program. And anyway, you can take a coffee or something sweet at home or here in the hall. And we will continue with the program, Regional Circular and Digital Construction Hubs, and the common strategy for the circular and digital construction as a way for the ReBuilt sustainability. First, we will present the circular construction hubs, the network, why we are doing this. At the same time, I want to inform you that you can follow us on the YouTube, and of course on the website. Also, we will put also some information on the website and all links about the conference, and also you can see on the website about our project, ReBuilt, under the Interact Central Europe. So, circular and digital construction hubs, why we are doing these activities, because we were together 9 different countries and 14 different partners. And one of the activities was how we can create this new ecosystem. And the idea was, in the preparation phase already, that we will manage with the hubs as a central, and then also in all regional or different countries where our partners came. The objectives, you see why this is interconnection in the system, and at the same time we want to create the society, the brighter society together in the circular and digital part, mostly with the accent on the circular construction, of course, in the Central Europe. At the same time, we put together the whole target groups, academia, industry, companies, mostly SMEs, because the accent in our project were also, or are also SMEs, and then also the public sector, and innovators, and also investors. So the whole system under the target groups, we want to make also the network in the, when we finish our project. And what is also very important, what we saw during the research in the project, how important is legislation. On the end, under the line, we have many different legislation, regulations, and so on. And we want to create, I will show you later on, also the strategy for the circular digital construction, not just for these 9 different countries, but also with the implementation on other parts of the Europe. And what we can do also with the hubs, we will show you also the website. Not the website, is already platform where we put different activities, and each partner has the same rule. Each partner has the specific rule because we will use the knowledge of each partner and also the experts from each partner. And what we would like to make also the dialogue, to make this dialogue and also look after the, for example, in the partnership when we discuss about the new project, new development, or at the same time we have to look also at the support, financial support. So we want to make also the public-private conversation, dialogue, and also make the partnership. And at the same time, today we already discussed about the knowledge, the skills, the capacity, how it's important, and also under the hubs we have one menu, also the e-learning. So the central hub is at the Slovenian National Building and Civil Engineering Institute. Sorry, here is the mistake. And we serve as the core coordinator, at the same time in collaboration with the whole partners. Here you see the map. Each country has some of the partners have two different partners, so they will work together. And where we have only one partner, they will be responsible for their work for their country. And at the same time, I would like to ask my colleague that we will show you the website, please. Thank you very much. Our platform, you see, is connection with our website on the platform Interact Central Europe. And the first part are hubs from the different countries. If we follow, you see the coordinator and then the regional specialization of the hubs. And here you can see also for each country the responsible partner, the contacts, and also the website, and emails, and at the same time also the phone. And for example, partner from Croatia is responsible for the sustainable development and also the different activities on the regulation, mostly on the green public procurement and the green public procurement. Then we have the Italy. Both partners are responsible for the digitalization, connection with the Gaia-X, which is the platform on the EU level, and so on. And then also the Czechia. Here we have the Czech Green Building Council. Here you have also the contact, and they are responsible for the buildings, of course, and at the same time also the environmentally and friendly urban development. They are working also on the design, and look after the new Bauhaus and sustainability. So on, and all countries you can see on our platform and follow them. If you have already some questions, you can send to them or to coordinator, and then we will give you the answer back. I will stop now. Here. And as I said, the Circular and Digital Construction Hubs is really a new ecosystem to accelerate the sustainable transformation of the circular and digital construction in the Central Europe. But as we said, we would like to make this connection also when we finish the project and then continue with our work. Most important part are you, participants, also our partners, that you come and ask us how you can manage your part in this collaboration in the hubs, of course, your institution or companies and so on. Thank you very much for this. And then next, Alenka. And the most important, one of the most important results will be also the strategy of the common strategy for the circular and digital construction in the Central Europe. And for this, we prepared already many different activities, mostly on the workshop. And I will show you, we prepared 3 different workshops. Last year in November, the first one, the second one was in February, and also the third one. And the first one was just for the idea, proposals, how we can manage or perform the strategy, and then with the partners, and then we invited different stakeholders for all target groups. Altogether, we were more than 85 persons, which were really active, included in the process. Thank you, Alenka. As I said, we've got 3 different workshops. That was our step, how we can prepare the strategy, because, you know, on the European level, under the European Commission, we have so many different documents for the regulation, strategies, directives, and so on. It's not so easy to prepare just to be, to make the possibilities to implement in different countries. Not just for these 9 countries in the Central Europe, but also in other countries which are members of the European Union. And under these workshops, we prepared the pillars, and mostly the participants give us feedback which pillars are important for the strategy in the Central Europe. And you see here, I will show you also some of the results, how we can manage with the digitalization, of course, with the Mentimeter. We use the tool of Mentimeter and put some proposals already. Now we are in the preparation in the paper document. For example, the first question was about the circular development pilots and design. And here you see the answers of the participants. And mostly was important also that the additional comments on additional contents. So we put sometimes to participants that they, through the discussion, dialogue, they prepare also other proposals what we can put in the strategy. The second pillar was digitalization and data interoperability. You see in the hubs we've got already the tools which were already presented, but on other side, if we're talking about or discuss about the circular construction, we have to think also for another things. For example, in our project, we didn't use BIM or operate on this topic, but anyway, that is also very important for us. And at the same time, what was also important for us, digital passport, which will be also in the future obligatory for the construction sector. The third pillar was circular value chain and markets. Here we prepare it also one of the activities, circular business models with the companies. And a little bit we will talk today or discuss today on the round table. And then the participants put also other possibilities. We know that is broader proposals, but anyway, we will include the most important part in the strategy. And then the governments and public procurement. We know here through the research, we saw the gaps, different gaps, mostly in the green public procurement. But anyway, we think that is also very important part that we can put also in the strategy and then follow the regulation and also specific through different countries. About e-learning, about the capacity building. In the construction sector, you know maybe the top management have enough knowledge, enough, that is the question. But mostly they have really knowledge, but if you go down to the workers, we saw that they need more instructions, more knowledge, maybe more simple knowledge. For this case, they can use also our mock because it's very simple. On the end, we have the quizzes. That means you can ask yourself what you've done or you learned through our mock. And as I mentioned already, the circular business model, that is in collaboration with the circular value chain at the same time. And the most important part, how we can put together the circular and digital, because we know that on behind you need also the new knowledge for the digitalization, because on the end, in the construction sector, digitalization also just a tool with the new knowledge and also the technical part which you have to use. And on the end, we mentioned already or present circular and digital hubs, which will be also a part of our common strategy. So thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Dr. Alinka Malko-Pranic for the round table, please. Round table, the name is where we want to go next, forward, of course. Please.
Thank you very much, Dragica. So now I will invite our guest panelists to share from different countries. We have 6 panelists, And I'm really looking forward to also hear, beside the question, what you are doing, sharing the best practices and some obstacles. Also, where do you see the future of what we have presented so far in the circular construction? So first, I would like to invite to the floor Mr. Goran Sternberger. He is the representative of our Ministry of Environment. Thank you. Ministry of Environment, Climate and Energy from Slovenia. So here as a role of the national decision maker, or not you personally, but maybe also, but as an entity,
as a part of the project.
Part of the project Life Before We Start. Then I will also like to invite Assistant Professor Dr. Rita Nemes from the Budapest University of Technology and Economics, Faculty of Civil Engineering from Hungary. So Ms. Rita will share her opinion as a research education person also that is needed with circular construction in education and research. Then I would like to invite Ms. Martina Shkvorova from Circle. This is a consulting company. We have some interesting team here from the Czechia. Welcome. From Slovenia, we are inviting Mr. Primoz Zodec, head of the Kotlin company, of a very innovative company working with innovative products based on hemp, on the natural bio-based construction products. From Slovenia National Building and Civil Engineering, I would like to invite Assistant Professor Dr. Andrej Anžlin. He's also involved in another Interreg Central European project being for CE. So hope we can hear some examples also on the level of the structures, not only on the level materials as we were sharing before. And last but not least, Ms. Martina Wolf-Kuflic from the Constructionin, which is a public utility service on the regional level, to share something also how construction and demolition waste are in Croatia, what is happening right now. So if you allow me, I will start with you here. And maybe, first just Mr. Goran Sternberger, I will ask you, so you're in another project which is led by ministry, Life Before We Start, and there are also some topics of the circular construction. Could you maybe share a general view of Slovenia, how much circular we are in the construction, or what are the opportunities maybe to be more circular, or what would be the technologies and the way forward for the circular construction? Based on your experience.
Thank you. So basically we are working within the project Life IP Restart on enhancing or supporting circular transition on some certain waste streams, especially construction demolition waste, which is the largest waste stream in Slovenia. It's difficult for us to say overall what is the circularity in Slovenia, because we are part of the, let's say, end of construction process, waste. But waste as such is extremely important for circularity. Not mention that I'm aware that major part of circularity is done in design phase, and we are somehow trying to correct the old mistakes from the past when we are dealing and managing the waste, processing the waste. But in Slovenia we have huge volumes of waste. If we just say for the last year, we have processed something about 9.3 million tons of construction demolition waste. Of course, majority of this was the excavation, material excavation. But we recycled only 1.4 million tons.
Okay.
Majority of the waste has been, let's say, backfilled, which is okay, is used, but it's very low in priority. We need to be aware that in Slovenia we have also another problem. We are consuming something about 50 million tons of technical stone and aggregates. And we have a serious depletion of our available natural resources. So when we are comparing the volumes and tonnage, of course, we cannot say that all the 9.3 million tons are usable, but majority could be. So we have already now not only option to enhance the circularity on the construction and demolition waste, but we need, and this is really need to do this immediately. Because otherwise, in some projections, something in about 5 to 10 years, we are running out of the natural resources. Within our project, we are working on several demonstration actions where we are, let's say, trying to find another way, sometimes a different way how to process waste, how to use this instead of natural resources, and to address all the obstacles, all the barriers which we are finding. We are in the middle of the project right now. In this very moment, there is many more obstacles than the solutions, but we are sure that we will find the right way. And as I said before, it's not the option. The circularity in the construction sector, especially in the waste of construction waste, is something which is already must. So in the future, the balance between natural protection, circularity, and sustainable development, this is very difficult to obtain, to achieve, but we need to collect very broad circle of stakeholders, collect all the opinions. And I think our project could do a lot in this direction. So just how to find all the inputs for this equilibrium.
Okay. We still have some time, 4 years, yeah, by the end of the project.
We still have some time, but time is running very fast.
It's very, yes. I will go then from you also to Ms. Martina Wolf-Kuflisch from Constructionin. Was
Yes.
it the right? Yeah. Because you are also dealing in some part where you are a regional collection center, mostly for the municipal waste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also the citizens every day have also the construction and demolition waste. So
Yes.
could you share something about what is maybe percentage? How do you deal with this waste?
Yes, not a problem, but our company don't accept the construction material from the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
We have others, how do I say, municipality, where you can bring your construction site, but in Croatia is very poor recycling constructions. So I don't know, when I listen here, everything what you say, and especially Mrs. Andrea from the Munich, I'm excited that that something new is happening, but Croatia is much more back in all of that. So I hope someday they will come in our country and we have a little bit better recycling and everything about construction. Because today I don't think so. I don't think so that it's okay. It's not enough. It's not enough. That's my opinion. So.
Do you also, probably you deal also sometimes with waste which is dumped in the nature?
Yes, illegal dumps, it's abnormal. We don't know how to manage with that because everything we do is not enough. The people is living everywhere because the mentality is they rather dump in the nature than everything recycle and we don't have the capacity for the how do I say
cleaning.
Yes, for this to have. So there's a big problem in Croatia for the construction waste.
Yeah.
Big problem.
We heard in our project in the ReBuilt about this central, about this regional, let's say municipality or regional also collection site for the construction and demolition waste. Do you think something like this will, is applicable also in Croatia to have? We don't have many, but what is Nigrad trying to do is also to link the construction activity in the city and with the collection of the construction demolition waste. So
I think it's possible, but it's hard work. Hard work. And you have to have people behind it who is standing for that project and who is available to, how they said, to push it through to the end. And but in the end, the problem is money. The problem is money. Yes.
Of course, this is something what industry or also in the public levels we also have to think when we are talking about the sustainability. It's not just.
It's not just. There is how do I say. Possibility, and there is people who want to do it, but there is the resources are really low. Really low.
Thank you very much. So, still being in this, let's say, in the circular economy, sometimes we hear the recycling is the lowest opportunity in all of the circular possibilities, but still. Maybe Ms. Martina Škorova for Circle, for a company of from Czechia, you have. I mean, I heard one of your companies sharing on our events this practice of selective deconstruction. I think it was Mercuria building. It was amazing to me that a private company goes to really the selective deconstruction, we could say, not?
Yes, firstly I would like to introduce my company. We have like the European's biggest marketplace with waste and even like the secondary materials. So you can look it up and you can find that we have materials there on it. To be honest, not that many construction materials are on it in Czech Republic.
So it's
because
all materials?
yeah, they're all waste, but we are planning to boost it like for this kind of material because it's because of the style of the Czech. I don't know. It's because of the construction sector in the Czech Republic because it's working different way with the waste, and they don't want to put. Their advertisements there. They do it in like people-to-people way, you know, not in this way. We try to support them to do it this way as well. We are a consulting company as well. We advise big companies, especially, but also middle-sized companies, how to handle waste generally. But these days, we put a lot of effort into construction waste as well because we see big movement in the field. In the Czech Republic, there are really a lot of projects going on now in the construction sector to encourage companies to do it in more circular way. And many projects are going on. We cooperate a lot of it, like with Czech building agency as they're in here, and we also work with universities. Technical universities, Czech technical universities, and we work with them on pre-demolition audits. They developed software for that to do a pre-demolition audit. It's called TISMIC tool these days, so you can also check it out. I can send you links. And we do selective demolitions and deconstructions almost 4 years now. We started with Mercuria project with Skanska, which is not a Czech company, but we started with this project, and we did 97% of the materials from the building was recycled or reused. Then we worked on other projects as well. Now we are going on with very nice specific project with KKCG. It's a big Czech developer. It's headquarters of big lottery company in Czech. And we did first phase, which was about reuse. As you said, reuse is very important also in the construction sector. And we tried to experiment with this a lot. We have a lot of, we have big net of cooperating companies and also NGOs who would like to take materials from this demolitions and also like that equipment inside, which is inside, and we saved like 133 tons for reuse of construction materials from this building. So it was quite a big number, and we're quite proud of it. So we also have these kind of projects. We also work with public institutions. We did a similar project for city of Brno. In Czech Republic is the second biggest city in Czech, and we did selective reconstructions and demolitions with them. Especially it was like a house for old people. They did big, great reconstructions of this. So we also tried to reuse as much materials as is possible. So we do this as well. We also work with big companies on the other side of the cycle. So we are trying to help them with R&D projects to have more circular products like the materials, building materials, and also companies like big production companies and manufacturers would like to put some of their waste into construction materials because it could be a really good solution sometimes. So also we help them as well. And now we have quite a new project with a big developer for a building of logistic parks. It's for the whole Europe, but now we are starting with Czech. And we are working on circular solutions during the construction of logistic parks, how to give we are trying to help them about how the best way how to give back unused materials to recyclers or to the original companies take back. Okay. So we also try to help them with this as well. So we have quite wide net. So I'm happy to be here, and if you're interested, we can talk later about.
Super. You were just going to the last point what you say, so I had previously the same question. So do you have some kind of the regional centers for the reuse, or which are taking back materials and then offer, or is it more on online marketplace that you are facilitating?
We have a marketplace, but as my colleague said, it's not working so much with municipalities in Czech nowadays. Mm-hmm. We don't. I think that persons like civil persons, not the companies, they can't put demolitions like waste from demolitions into these centers, because it's only for companies and the municipalities itself, mm-hmm. but not for people. Okay. I'm sorry, it's not going on. But we are trying to improve this as well. So we have plans to do this so as in Holland. So maybe it will be in function soon.
Just one last question is, so do the investors or do the company recognize this additional value of selective deconstruction, demolishing, and careful planning of demolishing?
Yes, it's very different with the size of the company. Small and middle-sized companies, they come to us to ask us they need to spare some money because of landfilling. But it doesn't work so much, you know. We are trying to do our best, but I can't guarantee them that they will save money at the end of the process. Yeah, yeah. Because it's up to many circumstances I can't really manage at the beginning. The biggest companies, they come to us because they would like to go greener and also do the best thing they can. They want to have a green portfolio and also attract big companies to to sell them their houses and like office houses and stuff like that. So their motivation is also from this part. But my last project with KKCG was in green numbers. So we were really like happy that we can show, okay, it pays off. You see, if you recycle or if you reuse, it can pay back. So so it's the first project which is really in green numbers, even if you count personal costs.
Okay.
So that's great.
Very encouraging. So going from the selective demolishing, Dr. Rita Nemes, can you share maybe something about the development then of the new construction products, or like more green concrete, more sustainable concrete? Is there a difference if you will get a mixed aggregate, or if you would get I don't know, pure concrete aggregate to be used in the new concrete mixture?
Yes, concrete is a good material if we want recycling, because on the aim we can find the differences. And it's good material because a lot of requirement from final products. But Andrea was presented a big project and step on reusing. And the difference in a normal, not pilot project, is only some more property checking end of the produced steps. But in Hungary we have very similar problems that in Germany, that the standards require a lot of things. And the last version that we use in Hungary is from 2016. It's 10 years old, and the standards based on about 5-6 years earlier results. And actually, develop is 100% reusing, not all part of, not only all part of the building, but we want to really use 100% aggregate fine and coarse aggregate too. And in case of concrete, it's not according to the standard, but hasn't been afraid from the owner or constructor, but it's very, very high afraid from clay bricks.
Okay.
And we have a lot of research programs that say, okay, higher porosity, higher water absorption capacity, and need other technology for it. But it's very, very perfect material. In 16 years in Canada and in north of USA, reconstruct a lot of small bridges. And in full this project, use a lot of brick powder, clay brick powders. Yep. In this time wasn't super plasticizer and special chemicals for concrete technology, and use these powders instead the super plasticizer and pore binders, and use the parallel lightweight aggregate, because the transportation was much heavier and need higher load-bearing capacity of the bridge without geometry differences. And we find a lot of documentation from 20-70 years ago about the using lightweight aggregate, and only small part is this documentation using, for example, brick powders. And actually, for us, more important is brick powder using, or yes, it's permission for this material using. And we have example that 20 years old under function load-bearing construction without documentation, and we want to get this new knowledge too. But the highest problem in Hungary, the crushed or pulverized material, it's not a product. And for a new building can be used product with C sign or a special test or anything. That it's the first problem from legality aspect. And our other problem that anything go out of the building site, it have to see as a waste. And all of waste of Hungary, it's ownership one company. And this company can register these materials and need a lot of money for the classification. So another part of actual research that make the aggregate qualification before the demolition. For example, was this pilot program, crushed and separate the materials, and after can start the classification. It's good or not, how many parties, and lot of work, lot of time, and lot of money. We try actually show this is a typical wall element from this building, and we check sometimes with destructive methods, but we can use a lot of non-destructive methods, but cheap, easy, quickly. And we see that was the original strength class of this concrete or of this masonry element. And after, if we crash, we get this material. And we can start before the demolition, and if it's need any test, that can be finished end of the demolition, and can be say it's the real amount that we won't use again.
You open several issues like standards are not prepared for these materials, legislation, something being waste, difficult to return it to the products. But you also mentioned, and so just a question, so is there any way, like a technical assessments outside of the harmonized standard or some technical specification for concrete to put such green concretes on the market?
Theoretically, we will define green concrete and carbon dioxide amount or emission, or I don't know exactly, from 2028. But I think if we don't see the results and basement of this, it will be late. And before this classification, it's this reusing or recycling, it's from economical aspect, it's impossible. Nobody won't pay 6 or 10 times so high for the concrete that if
just to be sustainable, for example.
From this aspect, Hungary is not a good example because in Hungary all of stones that we can use for concrete is perfectly without chemical problems, without alkali silica reaction or anything. Our problem only the clay amount, and can be separated in case of fine aggregate, but it's quickly, cheap, easy, and we know which geological part can be mined and what part it's not so practically from this aspect. So we have a lot of good quality and very cheap aggregate.
I think this is in general, I would say in south of Europe, we have a lot of the good quality aggregate as the main construction material, let's say, which goes to the concrete, to asphalt and so on. And then this is sometimes difficult to be competitive with the recycled matters, with the distrust and so
yes, it's general research problem in case of reusing, recycling the material, because depend highly from the country, from geological aspect, from earlier used material aspect, and have to all places repeat the material test. We can't use Brazilian research part. Was in last 2 years ago was a parallel test in the Brazilian groups, and we make theoretical all of steps same or similar, but the results was very, very different. It was not a surprise, but we even show that's the problem.
What you are talking is that also some of the tests which are according to the standards for the aggregate can be not appropriate to the recycled aggregate, for example, because you maybe have more fines. But another thing what you mentioned was the load-bearing structures. So I'm going, Andre, to you to share some also examples, maybe also from the Interreg project, Interreg Central European project, BEAM for CE, for Central Europe. So how do you, can a bridge be reused? A simple question.
Yeah, but the answer is not simple. So the thing is that we are, talking about new technologies, new solutions. We like to talk about that in new projects. And if you think about when you're addressing these questions to the old structures, such as bridges or any type of infrastructure, which is 40, 50 years old. So it was built on the assumptions and technology which is 60, 70 years old. And the idea is that...
Sorry, but we heard that they use bricks as pozzolanic, for example, excavator, even in times.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, I like to think about it, the infrastructure is not like furniture,
Yeah.
So the question is, we as society, how much are we willing to apply the reuse or recycling aspects in all of our, let's say, all of our aspects in the built environment. So something is if you have primary load-bearing capacity elements, or secondary, or if it's a non-structural element. Basically, in the Interreg projects, we were mainly focusing on developing digital tools, monitoring solution strategies to help bridge managers make good decisions in prolonging the lifetime of bridges, because bridges are getting older and older. Of course, we don't have resources. Even if we have money, we don't have human resources or time to really build new bridges at glance, right? So the idea in this project was to help them with some tools where they can make good decisions to really, okay, I can still use this bridge for additional 10 years or so. And I think that the experts have solutions to do that. But on the other hand, there is great, let's say, the next step are to optimize things to make, let's say, more cost-effective solutions. So this is, I think, continuous ongoing research activity. We also, as you know, we have other project circuits, and we are involved in the reuse of structural elements. So this is something that we have really big ambitions to build a bridge in Črna na Koroškem, our municipality, which has to have some kind of a reuse structural elements. And when you think about building a bridge, like doing investment project with public money, it's in a way a challenging task, right? And then on top of that, put into an additional layer of difficulties to use old structural members. So it's not an easy task to do that. And the bridge designers are conservative. Then we have they're also really kind of, let's say, doing things according to the standards, so we have no standards on that topic, but the progress is going like gradually. So for example, new generation of Eurocodes will address a specific topic, which is assessment of structures. So whenever you're trying to prolong the life expectancy of structures, you need to do an assessment. So you need to know what kind of material is, what is the load history of some structural elements, and only based on that you can make good decisions to continue on. The latest, let's say, conclusion on the reuse of structural elements is that when we're talking about the steel members, so in a way, what can be reused, it's already being used. So let's say the capitalism has taken care of this aspect, okay? But makes a direct, let's say, direct benefit with the cost, it's already there. So it's not so easy to find steel structural members, to be honest. They're really quickly reused. And for example, I think that from the bridge, let's say, engineering perspective, Netherlands is a great example of how they are trying to do that. So they have an idea to build a bank of structural elements that, you know, when they demolish a bridge, they put it in this data bank. They have some kind of a...
This is online or?
This is online, yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea was to start with that, but the implementation is difficult. So you have to be really progressive on all sides. All parties have to be progressive: investors, consultants, designers. So we all have to work together really hard to make that happen. And yeah, I think that we shouldn't push to the old pores of that, but it's just like we need to do small steps, find like demonstrators, so let's say some kind of angels which would really push us to the limit. So me as structural engineer, primarily as a researcher, so my idea is just to work on that, that once the whole community, all the parties will be ready to act in this way, to reuse structural elements, we should have solutions already ready. So that is what all I can say. And with Beam4C project, we have made, let's say, next step into that direction.
Mm. But you pointed out very important aspects, that's the durability. So how to prolong the life expectancy of the material, of the construction product, part of the building or infrastructure. And I guess this also brings us also to the egg and chicken question. So which is it the bio-based materials which are more sustainable, or is it a concrete more sustainable because maybe it has longer life expectancy? We will not go into it because I think everybody would have different opinions, but Mr. Primož Zorec, you are a small or micro company which is dealing with some of the innovative bio-based solutions for the construction. And when we were doing in the ReBuilt project this initial assessment, we saw there are quite a lot also in Poland, in Hungary. So a lot of small companies, very much on the individual housing level, wanted to promote the bio-based materials. So could you say something? What are your products and what are you facing with the good and the bad? Let's say we have it.
Thank you very much for the word. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Primož Zorec. I am the owner of the company Cogringham Building Solutions, which itself, the name itself says that, if I'm going back a bit, let's say, my professional experiences came from various fields of construction, from before I started my own company, in 2017. So two things came before I started the company as a strategy and a vision for the company. One is when dealing with the market itself, you need to have the whole solution. That means it's not about the material on one product. If you want to bring this to life, you need to educate basically the whole chain, which in our case are architects, engineers. So it's the opposite. You asked me what's before, egg or chicken. So we started from the other side. So by educating about new system, new details. So this is one way that brings materials recycled or new bio-based solutions to the market. Second thing is, I think, security. So even if it's, let's say, recycled bridge structure or some clay product, people needs to feel secure. How to achieve this? Yeah, but with connecting to research institutions, going through the process of certifications, testings, all the way through. And it's not important if it's new bio-based or it's recycled. These two things, I think, are crucial to gain economy of scale, let's say so, and to bring more of these products, recycled or bio-based, to the market. And not the research itself, not the SME itself or bigger companies can achieve. So we need to cooperate, we need to create these value chains. Mm-hmm. We started somehow with education process with you together by organizing this conference on bio-based materials in 2024. I think this was a good example how to connect and to push things together. And as a company, we are, like, say, we are a construction company. We have done quite some projects so far. Till today, which we can build the whole house, the whole solution we can offer, it's a bio-based solution, or we can do just part of it by making wooden construction, doing hempcrete, with hemp insulation, clay boards, etc. And the other part is like doing, let's say, connecting the research institutions like you are, higher education institutions together to create new products, to create new innovations. And the flexibility of SME is crucial here because bigger companies maybe have assets, but they are more into brackets. Mm-hmm. We are not, so we are pretty flexible on it. We are working a lot on this field. And I think this is also another way to gain economy of scale, recognition, and influence standards, not wait for the standards, because we are creating by our own research and cooperation the standards. As a good practice, the standards. Even you as a researchers, you cannot know how this will work in practice, like she exposed, if we don't try, if we don't make some pilots. So I think the pilots needs to be subsidized a lot, and from this there on, the economy of scale is just a question, you know. Mm-hmm. Then the bigger companies can also join and put their resources into it, and the costs of the product can be lowered a lot. This is how you can run the whole circularity itself.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Going to this, what you open also is kind of, we always talk that eco-innovation in the construction have two value of that. One is when it comes from the laboratory and you try to test it, but there is another just before entering the market because of the legislation. And I would ask you here, Mr. Sternberger, as because I know in Life Equal Results we are also dealing a lot about this, for example, like innovative procurement and regulation sandbox. Can you give some maybe inputs where we are in Slovenia or in Europe about bringing innovative products to the market without being too much burden to the let's say innovators?
Well, basically, it's a tough question.
Okay.
It's because looking from the legislation perspective, legislation has a role to, let's say, to frame everything within the box, to organize, to standardize, and so on. And each innovative step is some kind of destroying this box. So you are crushing this box in some way. So that's why I said we have some kind of conflict between the environmental protection and circular economy on field waste. It's conflict between the brackets, but we are facing those challenges within our project more or less on daily basis, on all our demonstration actions, on trying to develop the demonstration action in another way, and again you still hit the wall and so on and so on. So, but if this would be so easy, why we would need such a project? Yeah, so difficult things are equally complex, and trying to find a different solution. And within our project, we are trying to do some those solutions. Of course, there are not so many tools to overcome legislation barriers. What you need to do is to prepare a very good argumentation why something is better than we have already available, and try to persuade
the
decision makers we need to change something. We need to, there is something which is not allowing us to do in a better way. I just said that the curious fact that we are running out of the mineral resources. We know this, but we are still keeping the status quo. We are still going in the same way as we did now. So within our project, we are trying to find also some different way to address those gaps, those barriers. One of these is also, as you mentioned, legislative sandbox, which is something very new in Slovenia. Okay, it's new already in EU, but we are trying to set the foundation, or trying to find a way how we can use this tool, this process, to present to the decision makers alternative and better way how to manage, how to process some waste, or how to use this waste, and so on and so on. Without this development, we will probably still be behind on the same situation which we were, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 years ago, as you said, that we have old legislation and that we are not progressing. So I see the project itself as a possibility to implement in some way these innovative steps.
Yeah. Maybe to give a comment, the Life IPO Restart project is a way to improve the implementation of national waste management and waste prevention program, which we have in whole Europe. Each country has these programs, and it's supported by EU funding, LIFE, to implement it even further. So these are the real issues tackling when thinking about the implementations for not just circular construction, but circular economy in general. But what I see is that this wish which comes from the industry, which comes from the decision makers, to educate, to connect, and to improve the solution, to find new solutions. Maybe another aspect to tackle, you were talking about pre-demolition audits or pre-deconstruction audits. Something where distrust is built is potential hazardous material in construction and demolition waste. So could you say something about how also through the pre-demolition audits you
I think all is very connected. I struggle with legislation as you do, even in developing of new materials. I'm struggling from the other side because somebody says it's waste and it's complicated then to make it a reusable product then. So I need to find a way and check it's really on the edge of the legislation that I need to find small construction companies or middle-sized who can come inside of the building and take the material by themselves, not the big construction companies, yes. Because I need someone to take it before it's waste. Because otherwise I can't reuse it. It's a big problem. So we are really on the edge, as you do sometimes. We are trying to innovate, but there are problems with legislation which is ahead. So we really need to find these edges and make it better for a circular economy, because we can't move then if we have rigid legislation and we can't fix it in the box, as you said. So I struggle with this as well. And we are trying to do the pre-demolition audits. We use, if the buildings have the BIM, that's the great thing, because you can put it in application and then you have it as like this, like in few minutes, so it's great. But not the old buildings, they don't have it, so you need to have to do it in a software and click every chart, every single wall and put information in it to make it digital, so it's more complex. So we sometimes we prefer to use paper and a pencil because it's much more fast, and developers don't want to pay for big, very expensive solutions, because we tried to do a new model, everything do it in this way, but it was so expensive, so nobody wanted to finance this. So we need to struggle with this as well. Big companies have money and they can put it into research and do it, but small companies, I need the other side to help me to realize all the stuff, because the biggest companies can't do it because of this legislation, certifications. They can't have the biggest standard buildings with the highest standard buildings with secondary materials. Sometimes they don't want it because they're not thinking it's good enough, or the companies don't want to buy it sometimes because it's from the construction waste. Why should I pay so much? You know, so sometimes it's struggle on both ways. So I think it's all connected, and we have very similar problems in all the countries, I think, in this Central European region. So
I believe those are common problems to all organizations who are dealing with any kind of waste, but construction waste is maybe even more prone because it's so visible. Because this is one of the largest streams in Europe. So that's why if we are saving or finding some solution within the project, maybe, and this is also our task, maybe we will be able also to replicate somewhere else. And of course, one of the major aim or targets of our project is to prepare proposal for policy, legislation, and governance changes. Because otherwise we are, as I said before, we are staying behind where we were 10, 15 years ago.
I'm just focusing on my colleague Dragina. You are writing this for the strategy of ReBuilt project, yes?
So I heard now so many different possibilities to add. So maybe we can include something, of course, because many different things are very interesting, also for the common sector.
Maybe if I mention maybe one part of the answer for easier, let's say, standardization and is maybe modularity, in a way of modularity and the less, let's say, not bio-based, just focused, but the less harmful possible for the environment materials. So it will be easier to recycle and reuse if it's modular. I'm talking now not what is already used, but what is now coming on the market. So it's more different design approach of everything, you know.
And very important in the structural field to have the correct links, which are still structurally safe, and probably also with the new regulation of these different connections.
I was thinking about this legislation you mentioned, because in designing new structures or new buildings, bridges, whatever, so you have a privilege to really, let's say, write a new recipe, how to do that. And then if you have a good quality control, so everything is according to what you have initially designed. So whereas in the assessment, so you're willing to, in assessment meaning that, okay, I have an old bridge, and the question is, how much risk am I willing to put into that? Having still bridge, of course, it cannot, let's say, meet the current modern standards, but I maybe need to reduce my expectations about the performance and the risk of, for example, bridge collapse. And the question is, if I have a straw which is plastic or from paper, so but I expect the same performance, I will not be happy with it. And this is something that also maybe has to be rethought when talking about legislation. So when we are reusing materials, are we willing to also lower down some kind of a performance bar of our solutions materials, awareing that it's reused or recycled? So or will we just keep like our heads into the sand? Okay, I want to have really everything as new and polished, but still recyclable, and yeah, it doesn't go together like for all the situations, you know. And I think that when you put it in this way, it makes sense. But still on the legislation side, we don't have this, I think, arranged in a way that would enforce us to do these changes. So you mentioned pilots are, I think, the great examples, because all the parties in the end are in together focusing on the same goal, you know. And as also said, having subsidized pilots is crucial, because all of us are learning, and learning is time, it's cost. So even from that perspective, it's not, let's say, competitive. Yeah.
And also mindset of the people, I think it's key here.
Yeah.
By, let's say, just an example, you have a clothing, and you have a laptop. There are more and more refurbished laptops or second-hand clothing, let's say. But does it make it worse than the new one? So the change of the mindset will also change these things, what he exposed.
I guess that would be, maybe we ask from the audience if somebody has a question. If you have, Dragica, yes.
It's not so simple to answer. I will ask all of you, yeah? Now we heard about difference in different countries, yeah? What we can do together in the common strategy, what we can put in for the circular construction, at the same time also for the digitalization. Because we heard about BIM and also other digital passport and so on, but where we are in reality. What is important for us, how we can go one step further.
Okay, so I would make it shorter. So what is the next step, maybe from each of you panelists, based on your experience and what you think is the current situation? Maybe I start with you, Goran.
One step further. Well, I would like to have some kind of magic ball. Because there are so many directions, there are so many ways, and it's everything. It's come down. It depends. It depends on the case. It depends on the different application. It depends on the country. It depends on the situation. So most probably there is no one single step. Even for Slovenia, it's very difficult to say what is the right step forward. I'm sure that we have to prove that our actual legislation, which is, I believe, is extremely good how to protect our environment, but maybe it's limiting some certain points, some certain ways where we can or we should or we must develop to even decrease the impact on our environment. It sounds like controversial, but sometimes the recycled material have a lower impact on environment than original
as a conventional.
So it's very important to understand where this lower impact can be obtained and just follow this route, follow this step. Maybe in some other countries there are different steps, there are different ways how to proceed. But for Slovenia, I think that the most important is to realize, as the colleague said, important is design phase, but we need to do something also with the waste and try to decrease the pressure on our environment and to use the secondary raw material to preserve our natural resources.
Yeah. Just to add to this, because we are facing this on the environmental part, the zero tolerance to the potential negative impact of hazardous material, and on the construction side, we have high demand for the safety and for the health of the structure. Yeah, so this is like a bone of everything that we try to do in the circle.
I think it's a big problem that demolition waste is an inert waste, not a hazardous. If it's a hazardous waste, it's all of country, all of from government, politics, it's important question. But actually say it's inert and it's not a problem. Can we build a small hill from and it's good for slide for the children, and it's not a problem. okay, but can get under the earth all of material. If we change this aspect, we get a new category through the different countries, that it's a byproduct, not a waste. It's a good first step, I think. And I think it's have to arrive together. My question, what is the difference between blast furnace slag and fly ash? I think practically from the technology, nothing. But blast furnace slag, it's an old material used a lot of time, and we said it's a byproduct. And actually, I can't buy only blast furnace slag because the cement producer got all of what arrivable, actually. And the difference is only the definition, which is this material.
So, thinking about how a waste can become a byproduct or even a product, it's the same material, but it's in the different regulation and different name, yes? Yeah, maybe also from Ms. Shkorova to say, what do you see as a next step in Czechia?
I think everything is combined, as you said. I think maybe we should start at some point, as it's you said, that to try to do things more modular and try to have it also that coefficient from recycled materials inside of the software, so architects can do it from the recycled materials, because now sometimes they're afraid of it's not going to be according to the standards and stuff like that. So put the standards a little bit lower, and not all the materials need to be perfect. For example, when you do the new highway and when you put, I don't know, like you don't need to put limestone around, you know, that could be recycled stuff. But sometimes I still see in Czech Republic that many of that is their primary materials. But it's really like misusing of that. Why? You know, because maybe it's easier. Somebody wants more money. It's closer to the like nature-based material resource, or I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't have sense. So maybe sometimes we should find places where we can use these materials more than in the others. And also the legislation, that's what I do a lot in every day, that I'm trying to encourage big companies that their waste is not a waste. That I was working at the Ministry of Environment before as a deputy director, and I deal a lot with legislation, and now I can help them to do it in this way. I'm trying to do it like a lot of time, and they're ordering that because they see it. They're trying to struggle with this, but the legislation sometimes is very complicated, and they normally can't do it. And when I can imagine that small companies and like middle-sized companies who can't afford pay for the legislation people, it's very important for them also to have some manuals, some stuff they can follow, and don't need so much money to struggle with legislation. So sometimes it's a problem as well. So both of you, I agree with all what was said.
But it's also important to have facilitators like your company to talk about this and to promote as much as possible, yes, for a way forward. Pretty much what would you say, what is the next step?
I would say, first the question, what is actually waste? To define this at the bottom.
This is defined by the law.
Yeah. Then we need to define, I think, or identify the resources in each country, because it's complicated. For each country it's a bit different, but in general it needs to be some general identification of key resources of each country. So from there on, I think we can start seeing what can be recycled, what is economically feasible to be recycled, and what can be then bring back to the market. And it's also, let's say, by identifying key industries also in the market. So I think this chain should be established, and from, let's say, from this point on, like I said already, modularity and as much as possible bio-based materials, because at the end of the life cycle, it won't be so harmful waste, and if it's modular, it can be recycled in a big scale.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to just try to think about other perspectives, because of course all of yours are really valid. I have a feeling that those are all from the bottom-up approaches. Maybe what from the top-down are missing, you know. For example, you know, this directive to force, like, to have these caps on the plastic bottles, right? I mean, we get used to it, right? I was in UK and I just opened the bottle of water and I said, oh my God, that was how it looked like before, right? You quickly get used to it. And I think that one of possibility would be to enforce something which is, of course, soft, but a progressive way so we can change our habits. Because, you know, habits are like steel shirts. I don't know how it's an English expression, but maybe that would be a way. But also being agile, so that if it doesn't work, you quickly adapt. Mm-hmm. I think that's what's missing. We are over-debating, overthinking sometimes too much, and then just a few years pass by and we don't do nothing. And we could easily do 3 things and test them in reality. So, for example, if you demolish a bridge, you would maybe just force that this is a fixed price for all the concrete you actually bring out of the construction site, and that would subsidize other activity which would boost that, and also all parties would rethink, okay, now I have to maybe find other solutions, you know. And in the end, in capitalism is, like, I would say, putting sustainability in KPI that capitalism understands. That's easy as that.
Yes. It's exactly what Mr. Potočnik said a few years. We had to think about economy with the circular economy, not just the green or environmental part. And what do you say for the Croatia? What do you see the next step?
I'm not a professional in concrete and construction materials, and I don't want to, disrespect my colleagues in Croatia who is working probably on something like this. Yeah. But I don't know, because I'm in the waste municipal. Yes. And we had a problem with the solid recovery fuels, which is our primary product. And so I see the problems here, and the problem in my aspect is the same. we have to do united. Maybe this is my first panel, and I am so happy to be here and to hear about everything what you're talking about, and how do you want to go in the future. I think we have to have more. And maybe,
such panels,
yes, and maybe more people will have ideas what to do, because maybe I do something in the laboratory, you did something in the laboratory, and we have to talk. Mm-hmm. This is the digitalization of the
opportunity.
Yes. So I will not comment about, but the problem is the same in all areas, not just in construction, but in waste, my waste management. So I think it's the communication and panels, and let's do something.
Thank you. That's a really nice ending of our panel. Let's do something. So let's go to work. Let's, after also we finish our conference and also our project. Let's go to work.
Thank you very much to moderator first. One applause. From ZAC, and then also to all panelists, because you open so many different areas, topics, but on the end we are together. So our hubs at network in the future should bring some maybe solutions, could we say, yeah? And we will invite you again to check our strategy. Maybe you have some opinions, some proposals to put in, because I think altogether we will be stronger, with more energy from this next step in the future in the circular and digital construction. Thank you very much. And on the end of the conference, of course, I would like to thank to all participants here in person, Slovenia National Building and Civil Engineering Institute, also our guests for the INREC Central Europe, also from our national contact points, and also to all of you who were on the online. You can see the whole conference on the YouTube. If you want it, if you need some connections, please send us the question and we will send you. So now we have really break and the network, and so we can exchange more experiences after the conference normally, and maybe we can find also the common solution for the next step for the circular digital construction. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you.